Computers are one of the greatest inventions ever made by human. Instead of you using large equipment for simple computations, they are now offer all that much more in the little portable device that fits in your pocket. So, in this video, we're going to learn about the evolution of computers. We will see some early calculating device starting from the abacus to many more. So the first one is abacus. The abacus was the first calculating device that was improved about 4,000 years ago by Chinese, which is divided into two. One is small and the other is big. It's the first manual calculating device invented to count the large numbers. This device used for simple calculating like addition and subtractions. Can feature by moving the beds according to the certain rules. This helped to teach counting to young children. Its frame divides two parts. The upper part called heaven and the bottom part is called earth. Abacus is a wooden frame consisting of rows of holding horizontal wires and beds in those wires. These beds are in the wires. The abacus was used by ancient Greeks and the Romans for calculations, and this design improved by the Chinese and called suwangpan. Abacus is also called survan. So the next one is the Napier bone. This device called Napier bones because it consists of the rod made up of bones and could easily use for the multiplications and division along with addition and subtraction. This machine fitted with a various rod, and their set of dash bones, each bone woven in 9 lines, which imagine the numbers of 1 to 9. This line divided into two parts, though the dash digit is left and the unit digit is right. So this calculating device was developed in 1614 by a scientist named John Napier. The next one is Pascal calculator. It's very useful for students. Then in 1642, there another Pascal mechanical calculating tool evolved from a mathematician and philosopher named Blaise Pascal and known as Pascaline. He became very successful and popular. This device also called arithmetic. The next one is step, reckoner, or Leibniz wheel. It was the first calculator that could perform all 4 arithmetic operations. Its intricate precision figure work, however, was somewhat beyond the fabrication technology of the time. Mechanical problems in addition to design flaw in the carry mechanism. This step reckoners, also known as Leibniz calculator, was digital mechanical calculator invented by the German mathematician Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz around 1673 and completed in 1694. The next one is the difference engine. A British mathematician and deviser Charles Babbage moved a machine called the disparity engine to automatically calculate a series of mathematical values, but Babbage never overed it. And another idea was left to pursue a more complex analytical engine. Babbage difference engines considered of the most first mechanical computers. Although it was never over, many of the principles used today in computer design based on base. This was another calculating device was developed by Charles Babbage, and this device was evolved in 1820. The next one is analytical engine. After that, 1842, another engine developed by Charles Babbage which called the analytical engine. It was powered by 6 huge steam engines, the input given from punch cards. These engines could perform analytical functions. Charles Babbage's first engine also called the first computer. That's why Charles Babbage was thinking about the father of computer. The next one is tabulating machine. Herman Hollerith, an American figure, opened a machine called tabulating machine or tabulator in 1880. It was an electrical device and calculating device based on punch cards for processing and storing information. Herman Hollerith's tabulators became so popular and successful that he started his own company that later became International Business Machine or IBM. The next one is differential analyzer. Vannevar Bush introduced the first electrical computers, the differential analyzer, in 1930. This machine is made up of the vacuum tubes that switch electrical impulse in order to do calculations. It was of performance 25 calculations in a matter of minutes. So the next one is Mark I. It was the first electronic computers to connect the different parts. It was developed by Howard H. Aiken. It was the first fully automatic computers and more reliable than early machines. It marked the beginning of the era of the modern computer, in the rare dawn of the computer age.
The first all-electronic computer was the Electrical Numerical Integrator and Calculator, known as ENIAC. It was designed by J. Prosper Ecker and John Moltke of the Moore School of Engineering at the University of Pennsylvania. ENIAC was the first multi-purpose electronic computer, though very difficult to reprogram. It was primarily used to compute aircraft courses, shell trajectories, and to break codes during World War II. Then came the UNIVAC. The first practical electronic computer was built by Ecker and Moltke of ENIAC fame and was known as UNIVAC, Universal Automatic Computer. The first UNIVAC was used by Bureau of Census. The unique feature of the UNIVAC was that it was not a one-of-a-kind computer. It was mass-produced.
Then came the IBM 650. In 1954, the first electronic computer for business was installed at General Electric Appliance Park in Louisville, Kentucky. This year also saw the beginning of operation of the IBM 650 in Boston. This comparatively inexpensive computer gave IBM the lead in the computer market. Over 1,000 650s were sold.
From 1957 to 1959, the IBM 704 computer appeared, for which the Fortran language was developed. At this time, the state-of-the-art in computers allowed one component per chip, that is, individual transistors. In 1965, the first integrated circuit computer, the PDP-8, from Digital Equipment Corporation appeared. PDP stands for Programmable Data Processor. After this, the real revolution in computer cost and size began. The most successful of the early microcomputers was the Apple II, designed and built by Steve Wozniak. With fellow computer whiz and business-savvy friend Steve Jobs, they started Apple Computer in 1977 in Woz's garage. Less than 3 years later, the company earned over $100 million. Not bad for a couple of college dropout computer geeks. In 1981, IBM produced their first microcomputer. Then, the clones started to appear. This microcomputer explosion fulfilled its slogan, "Computers by the millions, for the millions." In 1984, the Macintosh was introduced. This was the first mass-produced, commercially available computer with a graphical user interface. In 1989, the Windows 1.0 was introduced for the PC. It was sort of Mac-like, but greatly inferior. Macintosh owners were known to refer it sarcastically as AGAM 84, almost as good as Macintosh 84.